Welcome back. Here we are again. So 2025, we're back at the Old Lawnmower Club annual general meeting in Milton Keynes. This is the Museum of Rural Life. So today, well, it's actually a two-day event. It's the Saturday and the Sunday. Today's Sunday, and hopefully the weather's looking okay. Hopefully it's going to hold out, and then hopefully we'll get to see plenty of mowers and possibly some in action. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and let's go and find some mowers. So here we are. Right, now then, so we'll just have a little pan round. So look at all those lovely mowers. So what we've got is most of the mowers that we're looking at straight ahead and sort of around where the path are members mowers who have brought to display. We're going to have a look at some of those, and hopefully we'll get to talk to a few members and we'll see a few things working, which would be nice. And then I've never seen so many. There is a reason for it, but the auction, there's a auction going today, and like I say, there's so many mowers, all sorts, petrol, hand, all sorts of age. You can see them straight in front. In fact, let's go and have a closer look. And what I would say is, if you are into mowers and you are not a member of the Old Lawnmower Club, it would be well worth joining, because the auction itself, most of the mowers here will go, I'm fairly sure, for a very reasonable price. And like I say, there's so many to choose from. This year, sadly, one of our members passed away, and there is a rather large collection of JP mowers. We'll just have a quick look at some of them. So we've got all different sizes. Obviously these are all hand. They're roller mowers. Little beauty. The later JPs had these removable cassettes. And then we've got some 240 volt. What about that for an electric motor? Another one there. And then we've got some petrol mowers. And that's got the little Villiers 4-stroke on it. That's got the removable cassette, being beautifully restored. We've got, I think, a little 12-inch there, Maxis, and I think that's a little Jap 2-stroke on that one. Again, fully restored. So yeah, most of the what we can see in front of us are JPs. So let's go and have a look at a few other mowers. So they're just lined up. All looking for a good home. So we've got quite a nice little collection of Ransoms, side wheel mowers, Qualcast. And look at these beauties. So we've got a A lovely Ransoms gear automaton. A desirable mower. And a patent chain there. 10-inch one, I think. Yeah, I'm not sure whether that one is. It looks, I don't think it is actually a patent chain. Got the groove roller on it, but it's certainly a Ransoms. And then we've got a Drummond Bross willing worker. And then some Shanks. Lovely mowers, the Shanks. They did all sorts. Side wheel, roller, petrol, pony, horse. So while everybody's looking at the mowers in the auction, and it's fairly quiet, we're going to have a look round and have a look at some of these. So we've got, it looks like it's a model, I don't know whether it'll be a Qualcast or a web job to know, but that looks quite unusual. It's not one I've seen before. We've got a lawn edger there. So we've got a Ransoms here, that's a Centenary. I think that's a 10-inch cut. Let's have a look. Yeah, I think it is. I think they did those in it was 10 and 12. Fairly unusual. Nice mower. Got these quite unusual, you haven't seen them before, these quite unusual Bakelite handle grips. Beautifully restored JP. Another lovely restored JP. You can see JP, like Dennis and a few others, Ransoms, use these sort of split cylinders that were supposed to throw the grass a little bit more evenly into the centre of the box. Sort of almost looks like the blades are broken, but that's right. As I say, that was something JP and Dennis and Ransoms used for a time. There we are, a proper web miniature that's been beautifully restored. Right, so the auction has begun. Let's have a look. There's a lot of mowers for sale, but we'll watch some of it.
Must be worth £1, surely. £1 for a roll mower. No takers for a roll mower. £1 anywhere? No. Try and get one, all right. The next one is also 10-inch, but it's a JP Minor with box. Is that one of the ones with a double heated cylinder? Yes. Okay, good. That's a pre-war one. There you go. Your first of your JP Minor with a box. Try for that somewhere. £5 anywhere. £5. £1. £1 for JP is big. One I have. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. £7 here then. Are we all done at 7? I'll sell for £7. Thank you very much, sir. Then it's what, 3? Guess what? It's a Presto Romo. But this one has a box. A box with a transfer. Pound for that then. £1. Pressed over the box. Thank you, pound is bid. Any advance on the pound? Pound I have, and I shall sell for £1 if there's no better bid. £2 now. What competition says £2 at the back. Any more? 2. 3. Well done. 4. £4 at the back. All done with 4. I'm selling at £4. And your name's up. Brian?
Gibson. Yeah. Gibson. Gibson.
Gibson. Okay, thank you. And you won't have this problem. I can't hear anything up here. You can all hear me, I hope, but I can't hear you. Lot 4 is Ransom's Ajax. With a box. Latest one by the Lot 4 or 5. Pound for that somewhere? £1. £1 anywhere for the Ajax. £1. Thank you, pound is bid. Over there, £1. Any advance on the pound, I'll sell for £1 if there's no higher bid. All done on the pound. Lot. Good. Lot 5. Forecast pants on. Pound for that somewhere. £1 for pants on. Got a box. Box must be worth £1. Even if the mowers. Thank you, pound is bid. Any advance on the pound? £1 I have, and I'll sell at £1 if there's no higher bid or £1. That's Smith. Lot 6. Another forecast pants on.
I think what we'll do, we will
£1 anyway.
come back to this, we'll have a look, and
£1.
there's, as I say, there's a lot to get through, so we'll come back and have a look at the auction in a minute.
No takers of the pound.
Is this the biggest lot we ever had at the auction?
Definitely, definitely. No,
Usually there's, I wasn't here last year because the van had the wheel bearing went, but there's only about 20 here last year, I think.
no, it's a really good turnout, really good turnout. I mean, if you wanted to buy a mower, today's the day. There's more mowers than there are buyers, and, you know, prices are very reasonable so far. I've got no doubt some of the sort of Victorian, there's a couple of nice ransoms there, which I think probably will make fairly good money, but a lot of this is not going to make an awful lot of money, so if you're into mowers, today's a good day to come.
I don't collect push mowers.
No,
I
no.
like, it's the engines I like playing with.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I like both. I like both. So that's a very unusual mower. That's a Samuelson 6-inch in the 1880s. And almost certainly it would have had a box. So that will be almost certainly gear driven, and that will be probably, yeah, that will be gear driven, that one. But yeah, rather a nice looking thing. And we've got a Dux side wheel mower with its thrower plate and badge. There we go, there's a couple of mowers you don't see very often, and those are Ransom's new Paris mowers. So just before the Anglo-Paris. And they're sort of quite recognised because they have these rather bulbous wheels on them, like that. And they did do different sizes. I think they're both 8-inch cuts. I believe they did a 6, and they went up in increments. And boxes and thrower plates were normally an extra. But one of them there and the other one next door. Again, mowers you don't often see. So we're going to just sort of pan over while it's fairly quiet, and there we are. That's a lovely, nicely restored Ransom's new automaton. There is one in the auction. Be interesting to know what that makes. Nice, very nice mower, not too heavy. Gear driven. And there's a couple of very unusual mowers. Basically hand mowers with engines fitted to them, and this was obviously a proper kit, conversion kit. Mini motor, motorized in the 1950s. So they've got these little Trojan engines, and I would say that's a two-stroke looking at it. I like the cylinder. Does look old. You see the drive wheels on there. This particular one's mounted to a Ransom's. You got the belts to drive it. And then we've got one here mounted to a Qualcast Panther. Sort of back in the day, there was a lot of these sort of kits around that you could buy to convert hand mowers to powered petrol mowers. And then obviously people did do their own thing as well. So let's just go and have a look over. We'll have a pan round here. There we go, a couple of JP powered mowers. Got the Villiers 4 strokes on them. There we go, and yes, there's 3 rather beautifully restored very early hand mowers. So this one here, the first one we've got here, that's the Express. And that's basically made by a company called Follows and Bates, a catalogue mower. That particular one's a 10-inch cut. No doubt they did different sizes as they did on the Follows and Bates. And then we've got the Godiva Marvel. That's a good name for a mower. Roller mower. It's like a 10-inch cut. Got the blockchain on it. Godiva Engineering. Yeah, that's a very unusual mower as well. And then we've got the earlier version, which is cast iron. I think that's about a 10-inch cut. And they've got this rather unusual, I think they've got a patent on it, is the adjustment for the front roller. So you loosen the wing nut up there. Well, it's not a wing nut, the knob, and the rod's linked to the front, and you can adjust the height of cut without leaving the mower. There we go, so let's pan around a bit more. There's a little American side wheel mower. Looks like a toy, but that's the real thing. And then we've got a Qualcast there, an early Qualcast Major. Beautifully restored. Qualcasts were known for painting a lot of their machines that light coloured blue. There we've got there, that's a Ransom's Anglo Paris. And that one looks like a 6-inch cut. There we are, which is about the smallest one they did. With box. Right, so, wow, look at that. So we've got a uni horse there. And we've got a set of gangs behind it. So those look like the Ransoms. Yes, they're the Ransoms 3 set. Yeah, I was quite curious to see what engine, but we've got a BSA on that there, so that's a 4-stroke BSA. Not quite sure the size of it, but lovely thing. Looks in good condition, original. It'd be nice to see that in action. Maybe we'll see if we can get some shots a bit later on today. A little bit about it. Right, let's move on. There we are, a lovely green Silence Messer. They're very ornate, slightly unusual grass box. They had, a lot of them had this sort of corrugated, the metal part was corrugated, wooden sides, and these rather fancy looking lifting handles. That's a nice early one. It's got the S handles on there. That's a 14-inch cut. And you've got the nice hefty block chain on there. Wow, there's a project. So that's one of these mower pushers that was a kit that was available to convert your hand mower into a powered mower. So you'd have a connection point at the front there. You'd have a special bracket that would mount to your hand mower, and you'd convert that to a powered mower. Ride-on, no doubt. Yeah, it's a really good turnout. So let's just have a little pan around. Here we are back at the auction.
Assorted JD boxes. £5 for them, £5 anywhere. £5 for the box. Any box on 5, selling them at £5. Pound. One fella. You're 106. Assorted JD box inside. £1 for them. £1 in Britain. Any more pound? How much do I have? £1 only. Pound. 7. Ransom for Pennsylvania Edger, their handle. £5 for that somewhere, £5. Big petrol station, 7, 8, 10. £10 on the wax. I was all done at £10, I'm selling them 12, £12, 14, 16, 18, 20, £12 then we got all done at
Well, I think that's probably enough filming on the auction. So I think probably what we'll do is we'll see if we can get some mowers cutting, or see some mowers cutting some grass next. So here we go. Here's a nice splendid lineup of beautiful Victorian, mainly greens silence messes. So let's start at the beginning, which is about the smallest 6-inch cut. I mean, that's an unusual size. You don't often see them as small as that. 6, 8, and then 10, and then they went upwards. And what makes these particularly old, these are, I'll try and get a shot in. If we have a look at the handlebars, you can see the handlebars are all S-shaped. So all of these machines are going to be much before 1900. The later greens, these silence messes, they had these straight handles, which as per, we can see there's an unrestored one there. That's the later type of handle. But these, as I say, are all S handled. One of the features with the greens they had, if you look, they're obviously block chain. And what we've got, you can see, let's have a look at the other side. So we've got a sprocket the other side. So the idea of that, these cylinders were reversible. So once you've removed the bearing blocks, you could take the cylinder out, and I suppose when you'd sort of slightly lost your edge, you could take it out and turn the cylinder around the other way. So you always had somewhere to put the chain without having to swap sprockets over. So it was quite a bit of a unique idea, and that was on most of the silence messes, the bigger ones anyway. You can see the small, I think it's a 10-inch one there. I think that's an 8. And a lot of the greens did have, they cast their serial numbers on the side. Just go over, you can see the other one over there, a little bit easier to see. So they were all unique, the handles. And then we've got I think this is a little American machine here, roller. I like the very chunky blades. You've got the little jockey wheels on there. I suppose that was to allow it to sort of cut the grass rather than roll it. Probably slightly more suitable for the longer grass. Here we go. A Shanks pony horse mower with no horse. Get back in it. Well done, gentlemen. That's cutting a tree, isn't it? Oh, look at that. You're so lucky with that, getting that. That's so original, isn't it?
Oh, I'm quite chuffed with this.
Yeah, you should be. Mine's nothing like that. I said to you, I had to make so much of it.
Yeah.
But are you going to paint it up?
No.
Leave it as it is.
No. That's done now.
So just remind me what you had to do to that.
So I've had to grind the cylinder.
Yeah.
It's got white metal bearings in it,
Yeah.
which I've done some remachining on.
Yeah.
This casting was broken here.
Oh, I can see. That's a nice job.
I've added a slight modification here,
Yeah.
just to support that.
Yeah.
The box was the main job. So it's very low rocks, I had to use wood hardness to sort of stabilise it.
Yeah.
The paddles I've put new bottoms on,
Yeah.
and actually these, you can see here, 3.5 of the slats are original,
Yeah.
but this, but 2.5 at the ends, I've put new slats in,
Yeah.
and I've matched all the grooves in.
Oh,
so
you've
they
done
fit.
well. Yeah, that's nice, isn't it? It's just making it look right, isn't it?
And then you can see at the ends where I've had to add pieces of wood
Yeah.
where it's sort of missing.
Yeah.
And then that handle came with it, but the one on the other side was missing, so I had one to copy.
That was lucky.
And then
yeah.
a few, obviously I made like these bolts and
Yeah.
nuts and bolts and things.
Yeah.
And it's all just had a good clean up, some lubrication.
Looks good.
I
What about the bottom blade?
haven't. It's had a new one actually.
Has it?
And
So you just
I've
ground
left
it?
it. I've not even ground it.
Haven't you?
It was.
God.
I looked at it and I thought that doesn't need anything doing.
God, so that was lucky.
So and this, I had it in the workshop when I set it up. I was testing it on 5,000 shim, and it was just cutting it just like that.
Was it?
Yeah.
God, that shows you it's good,
So
isn't it? That's all there is
It
to
probably,
it.
it cuts at least as well as anything else I've got.
Yeah. Well, you
It's,
can see it's made a lovely
yeah.
job of it. Yeah.
I don't know what. I think they must have just got the design with the gearing just right.
Yeah.
It's got just the right amount of gearing when you're going along.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I guess the big roller gives you a reasonable amount of sort of
Well,
torque on it.
yeah, it does. I mean, Shanks are well known for their pony horse mowers, aren't they? They're
Yes. Yeah. And
they're sort of masters at
And-
it, really.
I don't know what the white metal bearings would add particularly, but they obviously work. So
Yeah, definitely. No, definitely. Well, if the cylinder's not bouncing up and down, it's obviously good. And you've got a bit of meat on the blades. Look at that. Oh, that's good, isn't it?
And,
Yeah.
Oh, and I've had to weld it here because that was broken.
How did you weld that, with gas?
There was gas used,
Yeah,
so it was snapped through. And
Yeah.
it previously had this bolted on below.
yeah,
It wasn't up to the job and it bent.
yeah,
So I straightened that. And but to weld this, I put runs of weld on each one
yeah,
and then ground them off and did it again. And it pulls the impurities out of the metal.
yeah,
And then eventually you get both ends buttered up with weld.
yeah,
And you can, with heat, you can see if there's any cracks and you can get rid of them.
yeah,
And then so eventually when you jig it up and weld it together, you're welding weld to weld.
Yeah.
And it goes well.
yeah. And you said you did it with oxyacetylene, did you?
I did it with a flux core wire,
Yeah,
but then I kept it hot with oxyacetylene,
yeah,
and I used that to look for cracks.
yeah,
And you've got both ends glowing.
yeah.
It has to go in very hot, and it's worked.
Yeah, as you can see, and it's not cracked, because cast is funny old stuff, isn't it? It really is. It's
I don't think this is pure cast iron. I think it is possibly a poor grade of cast steel or maybe
Yeah.
malleable iron.
yeah, yeah.
I don't think cast iron would have
No,
welded quite like that.
no. Well, it's like honeycomb, isn't it? So it's funny stuff, cast iron.
Yeah,
It's,
all these
it's
little
awkward.
radial cracks coming out the
Yeah, I know. You've got to be so careful, haven't you? But yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? And you've got, mine is missing both of the gear covers, so I haven't got that one.
Well, we could have those copied.
Maybe one day, yeah, that'd be lovely. No, that'd be good at some point, because that's what's missing, that one and the other side as well.
Interestingly, behind this bracket, obviously some of the lettering on that one is hidden.
Yeah.
And that's because the early ones didn't have springing.
Ah.
And this came in, I think, sometime in the 1890s.
Yeah.
And they obviously didn't change the design of this. But the lettering that's behind that bracket
Yeah.
has all its paint, and it's still got all the gold lining on it.
Has it?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's really nice.
Yeah. Is it a fairly darkish green?
No, it's quite a light one.
Is it?
Well,
Is
you
it?
can see it on here, look.
Yeah, I know time sort of does funny things, doesn't it? So,
In fact, it's probably a little lighter than that.
is it? Is it? Yeah.
You can see it probably quite
Let's
well
have
under
a, let's
here.
have a look there.
See in here?
Oh yeah,
That's
yeah,
probably
you
the
can,
best.
can't you? Yeah,
The best song.
yeah, yeah.
Don't know if you come from that
Let's
direction.
have a look from that direction. Oh yeah, you.
There we go.
Yeah, well
That's
done.
the best place you can
Yeah. So I've got mine a little bit too dark, really. I thought I'd sort of had it more or less, but
see. The shanks use more than one shade.
yeah,
I've seen light and dark version shanks which are clearly original.
yeah,
And I don't think there's a particular difference in years. I think
no,
they just did batches of a certain colour, I think.
yeah, 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 yeah. But I suppose yes, I'll have to stick with it. It's such a big mower to repaint. I think I think I'll probably just let it weather and yeah. It's funny because it's been stored at Dusty's place and it's got a bit damp and it looks a bit better for it now. It's got a little bit rusty in places and it does look a bit better than it first did when I first painted it. It is. It's looking okay because last time I dug it out, it is. But I was just saying to Seb, mine was nowhere near as complete as this. This is amazingly
No,
good,
you
really.
had a lot to take on then.
Oh, I
didn't you?
did, honestly. It was well, I said, it's a nightmare. It's like that other one at home. So, no, I'm very envious. It's very nice to get them like that, isn't it?
I'm really chuffed with this one.
You should, yeah, I think you should, because normally they've been sitting outside, haven't they? And I'm guessing this hasn't been sat outside. It's obviously dry stored somewhere, hasn't it?
It worked for Golding's Hall in Shropshire, just a nice country house.
Yeah,
And it was dry stored in their barn for many years.
yeah,
And actually, all the mowers that they'd bought subsequently to replace it over sort of approximately one every decade
yeah,
were all kept with it, none
yeah.
thrown away.
Wow. So they've been kept out the elements, haven't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah, no, it's amazing.
I wonder if that handle has been fitted to a smaller machine at some point to use the same handle on the wider model. To the,
I guess.
What you're saying this?
I'm just, whether it's something.
Mine, I'm pretty sure, Brian, mine is the same. I think, yeah, I think it is. It looks a bit odd. I know what you're saying. It looks like it's come off a smaller mower, doesn't it? But no, I think that's right, as far as I know.
I've not made to speak to her. I'll talk to you just in a moment.
Yeah.
I think this was because this was a convenient size for the human.
Yes.
Yes.
And they,
Yes.
And they
couldn't
made.
have it in the width of the machine.
They did make these wider, I think.
Yeah.
And so I think if they got wider, they left the handles the same.
It would probably make sense because it will do the same job, won't
Yeah.
it? And yeah, why not? But I seem to remember mine is, same as that. So, and it's too original, isn't it? This one looks like it is just.
it's not.
It's not been messed around with, has it?
It has had. Because actually, this triangular thing here.
Yes.
That isn't original. That would have been in casting.
Yeah, you did say, and maybe we got to do a little swapsy. I'll have to get it down to you if you wanted to get one. You
Well,
borrow
I'm gonna
my
leave this
one,
on
or leave
I
it
think
on there.
That's quite a nice period.
Part of the bit. It was
Yeah.
probably blacksmith made or something, wasn't it?
They've done a lovely job.
Yeah. No, that's right.
It's got a really good height of cut adjustment.
Yeah.
The range of that is a lot more than an ordinary mower.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it has, hasn't it? There's.
That's a good,
Yeah.
at least 4-inch
Yeah.
height adjustment.
Yeah. You could get it quite low, but equally you could get it quite high, couldn't
Yes.
you? What a lovely thing. Well, there you go. Right. Thank you, gentlemen. You're on YouTube.
Hi Richard,
Hello. Right.
my name's Mr. ID Tabernacle.
And you're going to tell us about some Flymos.
Yeah, these are two domestic ones. This is an early Flymo 38
Yeah.
which has got the side starter.
Yep.
The plastic tooth thing engages with teeth on the flywheel.
Yep.
And it's the older one, as you'll know.
Got the primer on
It's got
it.
the primer on,
Yep.
and it's got the choke combined stop switch.
On the side there.
Yeah. This next one,
Yep, that's a later.
you can tell the period because it's brown, and brown was typical 70s.
Yep.
So all your car seats were chocolate brown. Even they made Austin Allegro's chocolate brown, didn't they?
Yep, they did.
This was working until this morning when it suddenly stopped.
Okay.
This next one is, I can't remember the model.
That
You probably know.
that is a contractor. I think it's a contractor. It's a professional one.
Yeah, because it's got the air snorkel on it,
I
hasn't it?
think they called it GT2 or something, and it's got a JLO engine.
Yes.
JLO 2-stroke.
The reason why it's got this aluminium bracket over there, because the person who had it before me, all the rubber mounts, because there's rubber mounts.
There
on it.
is. The tank's mounted, isn't it?
Yeah, so they're all snapped off.
Yeah.
So we're gonna show you this working.
Let's have a little demo.
Right. What
Everybody's.
we have to do first,
Yep. Give us the startup procedure then.
let's see if it's choked.
So you
The
got
stop switch doesn't work.
okay.
So this stop switch
Does-
doesn't work.
okay,
So, but
right.
It will should fail.
Right. Either way.
You know what the sober was? The lot less bothered with the hoggle.
There we are.
There we go.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
And what was the slogan they used to say? It was something
It's a lot
like.
less bother with a hover.
There you go. You've seen it.
Yes, YouTube. Thank you.
Well, there you have it. So that's it, I think, for today. Hope you enjoyed the video. So that was the Old Lawnmower Club 2025 annual general meeting in Milton Keynes. The weather's turned out nice in the end. We got to see some mowers working. We've spoken to lots of members. Had a good day. And thank you again for watching.